This season of My First Dungeon is sponsored by Mythworks. Mythworks is dedicated to sharing stories we can all enjoy with creators from around the world. They're the publishers of Slug Blaster, The Last Caravan, and of course, The Wildsea. We are thrilled to be working with a company that makes such great games and that is so dedicated to uplifting creators and the actual play community. So head on over to myth.works and use the promo code MyFirstDungeon, all one word, for 25% off your order of the Wildsea, so that you too can set sail upon the verdant waves. Once again, that's 25% off the Wildsea when you go to myth.works and use the promo code MyFirstDungeon. And with that, enjoy the show.
Odson's Respite, in your memory, was a lively port of merchants, sailors, and a healthy community of locals who made their living off the surrounding waves. Pubs for travelers and chars of acclaim advertised heavily at the ports, sending their young, bright-eyed employees to the docks to entice arriving sailors. Could you all give me one sensory thing about this port that brought you comfort in past visits?
I always liked hearing there's a lot of street musicians that are out and about busking for change.
Izora loves, there's lots of smells like the food vendors and carts and other sorts of things that are from all different places, but there is at least one specifically that is her hometown.
What's that dish?
Loves smelling it. She's from like deep in caves and things, so I feel like it's some kind of mushroom broth moss situation.
Earthy.
Very earthy.
Very dirty. Yeah,
Broth
taste.
Broth
Broth
moss.
moss. The
Moss
mushroom
broth.
broth moss.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like instead of having a glass rimmed in sugar, it's just rimmed in like dirt.
Yes.
They actually grow moss on the rim of the glass. Anyway, sorry. Moving on.
See, that's going to be a thing in Brooklyn in like 3 months, though.
Yes.
Oh, God, I hate it.
I think that there's just the right amount of people here where you can run into someone if you want to. Like if you walk the right streets and you are visible enough, you'll see someone you recognize and you can have a chat. But you could also stick to the lesser known streets and be by yourself. So there's like that perfect, it's the, what's the word? The
Goldilocks.
It's a Goldilocks port.
I don't know if Bats as Bat has been here, but I believe somewhere in its memories is a fondness for the way this port looks at night, where lights strung up through the branches overhanging the port, almost like string lamps of what would be in it to light it? Maybe like
Fireflies?
Yeah, that was gonna be my first thought. I was gonna see if there was another thought that came, but I think Fireflies is just a good answer.
I'm gonna ask a question here.
Please.
Has Ezra ever been to this place? Because I've been awake for about 1.5 weeks max.
Probably Ezra hasn't.
So here's what coming into the port, even though there's a lot of fear in how strange this place is, here's what's comforting. Because just like any port, there's still tons of kids running about, totally unaware of the world, playing with toys and chatting with each other.
Cute. That, of course, is the Odson's Respite of your memories. The Odson's Respite of today is drained of its usual life. The docks, a fraction of the normal ships. The colossal ribcage of the covered town is covered in its usual verdancy, the turn to autumn as beautiful as you've ever seen it. But despite this, you can't help but feel that something is wrong. The street musicians are not playing. The smell of mushroom broth moss is not on the air. And as you leave the dock and follow this friendly Ectus and this burly Ardent Guard, you see several signs reading, "Attention Wildsailors, speak no whispers."
Whoa.
Is that a common sign?
Nope. You've never seen it before.
Huh.
I'm just going to kind of tuck my wings in a little, because I've got all my whispers written on my wings. I'm just going to tuck those in a little bit.
Is there any kind of insignia on the signs or like a symbol?
Let me ask you, Izora, what is the name of the faction that's in charge here?
Oh, the Carota.
Ooh, okay. I like that. It says by order of the Carota.
Remind me, which was it, the Ardent or the Ectus that got really jittery?
The Ardent got really aggressive with you. The Ectus introduces themselves as Sagave, and they are very kind as they walk you up the dock.
Which one had the ichor?
The Ardent.
Thank you.
Can I just walk up to Sagave and be like, "Hey, buddy,
Hi.
didn't mean to startle your friend here. My name's Whistlin. What's the deal with these signs here? This is new. We haven't been here in a bit, but it's a noticeable change."
Yeah, there's been some incidents with the use of whispers, unintended consequences.
Everything okay here? Or?
Yeah, everything's great. It's if you've been here before, you can probably tell that we're a little quieter than usual, but
Yeah, the vibe's a little off.
the turn to autumn tends to, once we get into winter and everything, it tends to get quite quiet, but this is a little early in the year for that. But there's still food to eat, there's still drink to be drunk. Don't worry about it. Make sure you find somewhere nice to stay, get your ship fixed up, get some rest. It's still the same old Odson's respite.
What do you mean, get our ship fixed up?
I just assume
You just see in the background just
the mast just falls. Yeah.
Mast is just fully, yes, disconnected.
Sagave's kind of awkward is like, I didn't mean to assume.
I'm just fucking with you, man. It's a piece of shit.
Yeah, okay. Hey, the sea gives and the sea takes.
Ain't that the truth?
Ain't that the truth?
Sagave, do you have...
Jesus. Okay. You gotta
Oh,
to
did
the
I
field
do it again?
in the peripherals. You gotta at least make it to the peripherals.
I am sorry.
From right behind Whistlin. Is there something wrong? You right.
Jeez, God, both of you.
Don't you have compound eyes? Shouldn't you be able to see mostly around you?
Yeah. Yes, that's the problem. That's the problem.
Why it's so frightening.
Oh, Ezra, you are learning so quickly.
I hate this. I don't like this. I'm gonna buy bells for both of you.
I hoped that this was what the bones would help, but they do not rattle as much as intended.
It doesn't make it better.
Bones? What bones?
My name is my bone necklace.
And
I
bangles.
have bone bangle, bone necklace. You think they are just jewelry, but they are made of bones.
I hate this place.
Don't worry, none were taken. All were found.
Again, not better.
Izora, no offense, it does always sound like you're threatening something whenever you speak.
Threatening?
Sorry, you know what? That's a translation issue. It sounds like you want to hurt us. Whenever you open your mouth.
That feels right.
No. I want to help open your minds.
I'm just standing behind Dr. Ezra being like, yeah, totally. But you see me, I've got a tape measure and I'm measuring the sizing of the coat.
Sagave says, so will you guys be finding somewhere to stay in town, or will you just be sleeping on your ship? Where can I direct you?
Do you have a recommendation?
If you're looking to save some resources, you can always stay on your ship. I know a lot of sailors prefer to do that, but
No, let's get to know some people. Let's walk around. Let's stay somewhere.
Yeah, any new pubs open up in the past, 6 months or so?
No new pubs. Just a lot of them are closed for the season, but there's still Whistlin. What's your favorite pub here called?
Halcyon Days.
Halcyon Days.
That locked and loaded.
That's my favorite word.
Halcyon Days. He says, Halcyon Days is still running. A lot of the other pubs have closed for the season.
Oh, love that place. It's classic.
You know, like it's a shithole, but it's that best kind of shithole. You know what I mean?
Yeah. A dive.
A dive, yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Dive? That can't be right.
I think Kelly is trailing after you guys and is like kind of rubbing her forehead and is like, okay, so we got to get the ship fixed.
At least the mast.
Yeah.
Maybe the voltaic runners.
Do we have enough resources to get everything fixed?
What do you have in your cargo hold? I heard you have cargo.
My thought is it's probably like scrap. Or like
We've got a lot of
stuff
loose
gathered.
amber.
A lot of loose amber.
You could trade some loose amber. There's a glass blower in town who probably works with amber and other glass-like substances.
I believe somebody said we like taking pictures, so we have large storage of film and snapographs.
A lot of snapographs.
Snapographs. I believe Izora, I think you get a whisper when you have cargo.
I do. When your crew gains a piece of cargo, I gain a whisper related to it or its previous owners for myself.
What do you think is the snapograph whisper?
Snapograph whisper.
Say cheese.
And then when I say it, we just get a lot of cheese on the boat. I actually had already taken one called a stained snapograph.
Ooh.
It was the whisper I got from the Whisper Well.
Oh.
Very good. Very good.
Cool.
Excellent.
Do you think this could be something? And I pull out. It's kind of like a chart, but it's made of concentric copper rings that, when put together properly, can lead to a certain destination.
Where did you find this, Ezra?
It was, well, when you dragged me up, you dragged everything around me. I don't recognize it, but it was from the same place I was in.
Oh, very interesting. I have not seen something like this before.
Yeah, neither have I, which deeply concerns me.
Oh, Ezra, you kind of have to get over that. You have not seen most of this stuff.
I feel like that was an insult, but I'm not 100% sure.
Oh, Ezra, your curiosity. It means that your mind is open to possibilities.
Whistlin, you also have an aspect, your sheaf of 100 stories.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to say when you set foot off the dock, you gain the whisper, quiet distrust.
Distrust. Because I get a whisper every time I enter a new port.
Every time you enter a new port.
Now use that whisper.
Use it.
Yeah, do it.
The sign said don't do it.
So where do you guys want to head first? What's the first thing you want to do here in town?
What time of day is it?
It's like late morning. You guys woke up. You had a lot of like very uncomfy visions and conversations with the heart. And then you pulled in probably like late morning, I'd say.
Can I ask a question about something that happened before? Because it has been a little bit, and my
Of
memory
course.
is not as good as it used to be. Did we see the ship that attacked us descend beneath the Wildsea?
You did.
I gathered the rest of the crew around. This is gonna... I don't know what your word for it is. Oh no, this is gonna be difficult. So that ship just... Do you all know anything about submarines?
Marine?
Something that's submerged in... goes beneath the waves.
Oh, yes. To delve.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a delver.
A delver. Delver. Yes. Our other ship, the ship that attacked us, was a delver.
Yeah.
It seems like that the heart also wants us to delve, right?
I guess, yeah.
We would need to do lots of work to ship.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to clearly have to investigate this place because whatever's going on needs to be figured out. So, while we're here, we could say we're retrofitting our ship to become a delver. Am I using that word right? Someone's got to say it, otherwise I'm going to be really embarrassed when I say
Well,
that in front
hold
of
on. Why do we want to delve?
That heart wants us to delve, to return back to where it's supposed to be from, and whether we agree to do it or not.
Kelly says, we want to go to the place that the people who blew up our ship's runners are.
That's what I'm saying. Kelly, we don't often agree on things, but I'm 100% on your side right now.
Thanks, Cherry.
Okay, let me put it this way. When someone attacks you and fails to sink you, they come back. Or they have friends who come back.
Why? We don't have anything that they want.
We didn't have anything they wanted the first time. They took nothing off of our ship. So that means they wanted us sunk.
To be fair, we took something from them.
What did we take from them?
And Izora just looks over at Bat and tries to see where the lizard is.
A small
In the
lizard
map.
pokes out of Bat's neck area and then crawls back in there.
I did not think this would prove troublesome, but perhaps I am wrong.
Wait, that's not normal?
I was going to say, Bat's not here right now.
Oh my God.
Bat's not here right now.
The betrayal.
I'm so sorry.
Bat? Bat?
Bat?
Bat?
Bat?
Okay, you guys all got to make more noise when you move.
I...
And Izora somehow behind you again.
Jesus.
Let me ask you, Kendo, where is Bat?
There's a rib cage, right? That
Yeah.
is over. I think I'm on top.
Did you climb there or did you fly there?
I think a little both. A little bit of both.
I think we recontextualize the scene of you guys talking with it's in the wide shot in the background. There's this gangly bat figure just hopping up one of the ribs.
Yeah, there's some mother and her child walking by, and the kid's going, Mom, look, not now, dear. Mom, no, look.
By the time the mom looks, I've gone on the other side of the ribs.
You've disappeared.
So you can't see me. Yeah.
Bat, what are you doing up there?
I think Bat is very confused. There is a version of this place that is in its memory that it scarcely has a full grasp on. But, we get here and things are vastly different from how it exists in its memory. And I think is just trying to get up here because that feels the most comfortable to a bat, and is just looking around, trying to piece together, is this actually the place from my memory? And if so, what was the context of me being here before?
Interesting. I might add that you're hanging upside down.
Yeah, absolutely. Hanging upside down in my new 17-year-old-esque body, hanging upside down from this gigantic rib overlooking this port.
Bat, would you like to roll or anything to try and figure some of this stuff out? What's the info you're looking for here? What's the question?
I guess the question is Bat is trying to piece together, okay, I remember this place. Why? What was I doing here? And so I guess is trying to get a better look of the place to see if anything else sparks a memory that's buried somewhere.
Okay, great. Let me know what you're going to roll for that. Or if you're going to use any other aspects or whispers or anything to figure that out.
If I use a whisper that they told me not to use.
Maybe you didn't see those signs.
Maybe I can't read. Who knows?
If you can't read a law, you don't have to follow it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
It's true. Unfortunately, that law is also written, so if you can't read that one, then you also can't follow it. It's a real problem. It's a real Russian nesting dolls thing.
That's what we call a loophole.
Very good.
I do actually have a whisper that's pretty good for this. Yeah, why not?
Break the law.
I'm
Break
gonna
a
break
law.
the. Hey, I said I'm here to commit crimes.
Bat, what is the whisper you're saying?
So I think as I'm hanging here overlooking the port, I'm just kind of whispering to myself, a place so strange, a ghost of itself, as I am, back from beyond a grave of memories. And I'm using Back from Beyond.
So, yeah.
Kendo, could you roll a d6 for me?
Oh no.
Why would you ask me that? Why would you ask that of me? That's weird, actually.
Hey, Elliot, why?
But why?
Hey, what?
Why?
Why would you
What?
ask that?
That's a 6.
Yeah.
Wait. We don't know if that's the good one.
Got him.
That could be very bad.
That's great. So you intended this to be a whisper to discover, but what actually happens is a forced dramatic twist that I would love the rest of the players to describe for Back from Beyond.
Oh my.
Oh my
goodness.
god.
This is that mechanic I warned you about. Are we all cool with it?
Yeah.
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 So it's the whisper was back from beyond.
Back from Beyond, and it is now forcing a dramatic change rather than giving Bats a discovery.
Could the giant rib cage start to like seep out some of that same black ichor?
Something about the ichor was what I was going to suggest too. My vibe on the ichor was that like because we've all expelled it and thinking that it might come back to Bats, but I don't know that helps anything.
We also know that the people here have been, ichor infected. We saw one of the,
Or at least just the one, yeah.
So what if we start seeing ichor, lightly flood the streets a little bit, seep in from cracks, all sorts.
Just a little bit
Just a
of
little bit.
ichor flooding.
Because you're trying to investigate
Ooh.
the town, so I think the effect should affect the town.
Mhm.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I can see because the ichor that we expelled all kind of like congealed and almost like flowed back to the heart. Maybe the heart starts to like the ichor that we had expelled starts to leak out of the ship and starts to go and
Pump
like
it
infect
out.
the town.
Ooh, so people know where it's coming from.
Pump it out. Yeah, we just hear, or I guess maybe don't even hear off in the distance, thump, thump, as blood just slowly starts to, in slow pulses, march forward.
March.
March.
Oh,
Interesting
very,
word of
very good.
choice.
That's so bad. I really like it.
Amazing. I like that a lot. So, Bat, you whisper this, and you feel that as the words come out, in the back of your quote unquote throats,
Many thirds.
that it forces out of you in a shout, even though you only put the effort into a whisper. And beneath that shout is that similar howling sound that you guys were starting to hear when you were whispering, that you did not used to hear when using whispers. But you guys down on the dock don't know that the ichor has started to flow out from the ship.
So we don't hear Bats like shouting this.
You do probably hear the shout above.
The hell is he doing?
And then you look up and see Bats is upside down at the top of the rib cage, shouting these
Oh,
words.
Bats.
I don't know if you can tell from down there, but I think for our camera, visibly, like, Bat is like, hey, whoa, that's not what it's like. It's like there is like a physical discomfort to like I wasn't trying to do that.
Can I just in case, are the Ectus and the Ardent still around?
Yeah, the Ectus and the Arden are still with you.
Just as we hear that shout, kind of recognizing what it is, I just want to clap them both on the back and be like, "Hey, let me buy you a drink. Let's do it. I'll see you on days."
The Sagave says, yeah, I could have a drink. It's almost the afternoon. The Ardent just shrugs your arm off and walks with you.
Hey, yeah, let's go. I got a song for you. I just want to start marching them off towards Halcyon Days.
Great.
And hopefully get a little more information out of the Ectus than what we've gotten.
Is Whistlin singing a tune or something?
I think I want to get to the pub.
Not because I want to force you to sing something. I was just gonna add a little.
Just curious.
Yeah.
Just I'm not gonna force it or anything. But are you singing?
I don't like force you to sing or anything, but like, are you?
He's pulling out a stringed instrument and is like kind of tuning it up as he's going.
Mm-hmm. Is there like debris or anything, or like, are there any stands or vendors around?
Yeah, there's the remnants of stands, like a lot of them being shuttered, and there's even still like a couple stands that are open amidst them. Like it's not a ghost town. It's just decidedly drained of its usual fervor.
Got it. I think as she walks past maybe like a pottery stand or something, Izora's gonna pickpocket, steal a vase that's relatively small or something, and then she's gonna take some of the bones off her necklace and put them in there to make sort of makeshift instrument.
I don't
and
like
is
this.
rattling it as she walks behind.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I am gonna make you roll to steal from this pottery vendor.
Yeah, that's fair.
So let me know how you're building your dice pool. Edge, skills, any advantages.
All right, my edge is going to be instinct, I think, of like vibing with the people working there to really gauge of like, okay, now they're not paying attention. I'm going to go with flourish because there's some artistry involved in stealing.
Of course.
And then aspects don't give you like a bonus die unless it sort of explicitly says that, right?
Unless there's some way you can pitch me that it's an advantage.
Can I give an advantage by just being a big tree and like kind of having my
Hey Jay.
Yeah.
This is the second time this season you've asked me if you can give an advantage for being a big tree. And I'll tell you, my answer is going to be the same every time.
Yes, right?
No.
We're gonna get you there. We're gonna get you there.
Wow.
Can I use my Geist hand where it's you can manipulate nearby objects without touching
Oh, so you don't
them?
even have to be close to pickpocket. Yeah,
So
I'd say that's an advantage.
I'll walk close by so that
Yeah.
it's not just like a floating vase through the streets, which feels like it might gain some attention.
You know what would help that though? Like a floating vase kind of going through a big tree sort of thing.
Big tree. People are like, that's a new tree.
I was going to suggest something the same but different. So you know what? I feel like this is great.
Is yours can she get an advantage for you being a guy?
Yeah.
No, she can get an advantage for as soon as like the vase lifts up from nowhere, I can take my gigantic coat, wrap it around, and just keep on walking.
Yeah.
Okay, all of this nonsense, Izora, you can have an advantage.
So I get one advantage?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's 4
Worth it.
dice. Wait,
Seems a little
cut.
stingy, but
A little stingy, you know.
Just a little bit.
We're just getting started, folks.
Ooh. All right, that's a 1, 2 4s, and a 6.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I succeed with a twist.
So you succeed with a twist. So you get the vase and then rest of the table. Pitch me some twists, and twists can be positive.
You get 2
You don't have
vases.
there's something in the vase.
There's something in the
Yes,
vase.
vase.
No, I like the something in the vase. That's way better.
There's another vase in the vase.
Put some
it's
scratch
like
in the
a-
vase.
There's another vase in the vase.
Yeah, you know what they are? They're Russian nesting vases.
Yes, classic.
Ooh.
Classic.
Very
in this
popular
world.
in this port.
Yes.
Very popular. Great. You get Russian nesting vases you can add to your resources.
It's really cool that Russia survived survived the big tree thing that
great.
happened.
Just the culture.
No, it's RUSH.
Yeah.
EN, Russian.
The vase has USSR printed on the side.
Can I my siphoning fork aspect, whenever your crew gains a piece of cargo, I gain a whisper related to it. Can I
You're a
gain the
maniac.
whisper sickle and hammer?
What am I gonna say no to that, Abigail?
Oh, but you'll say no to the tree thing from Cherry? Okay.
Favoritism, clear favoritism.
Oh, you like Russia, but not ecology. All right.
I do like. Hey, also Izora has a Russian accent. It's all fitting. We're all good here. It's all on
This
board.
is from my homeland. It brings me great comfort.
Hammer and sickle, very good. So it doesn't. That is. We'll say that is the design on the outside of the vase. None of you know what that is. But
That's
there's
fair.
a hammer and sickle.
Wouldn't
That's
I know
fair.
what that is?
Oh wow, man. This is tough because we're about to make a decision that this planet used to be Earth, which is not a canon decision we had made.
Fair.
That's so true.
We're gonna say, Ezra, it is a pre-V symbol. I'm not gonna say it's of the nation Russia on the planet Earth.
Yeah.
But it is a pre-V symbol.
I've seen similar symbols. I'm not
Yeah.
100% sure where they're from. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so then Azora's gonna stick a couple bones in there to basically make a makeshift maraca.
In the littlest vase? Of the nesting vases?
I think in the larger, she's gonna pocket the littlest vase for now.
I forgot that this whole thing was just to make a
medium
shaker.
vase?
Or do I get 3 vases?
It's nesting. I imagine there's 3 or 4.
All right, so I'm gonna put the littlest vase in the biggest vase and put that in my pocket, and then we're gonna put bones in the middle vase to make a maraca,
Great.
which was the goal of this whole thing.
Excellent. Excellent.
You know
We
what?
did it.
If Felix Isaacs has a problem with this is his own fault.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that Felix is a silent villain of this whole season. It's really great. Okay, so you guys head to the bar. I'm wondering, do you guys want to move into a montage, or do you want to do like a scene as a crew doing anything before we move into like a split off montage?
I would ask that if we do a scene in the bar, that we do have Bats join us.
Yeah, I would
Yes,
say.
Bat would be going to look for you immediately after what has happened because they are quite scared.
I feel like Bats probably doesn't take fall damage and could just
I could
drop
put him-
if they wanted to.
Drop straight from someone watches. It's
That
like, whoa, is
same
that
child
Batman?
is like, oh my god, what's falling from the sky?
I really like the idea that you don't fly, you just fall, and then when you fall, it's almost like a puddle, and you like, and then you
Yeah.
reform up.
I love it.
That
That's
same
definitely what
kid with his
happens.
mom is like, Mom, look! And she's like, not now, honey. I'm very busy.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So you all coalesce in this bar, the Halcyon Days, with Sagave and the Ardent, whose name you learn is Jorva.
Jorva. Can we get a pronoun check on these two?
Hey, quick pronoun check. Sagave is she, her, and Jorva is he, him.
Thank you.
I just don't do feminine sounding voices well to make that obvious. Apologies. So you guys head into the Halcyon Days. The Halcyon Days is a dive bar. It is strapped together with various kinds of woods, and you see that there is decor that people have brought in and donated from all across the seas. You see some stuff that's indicative of the like cactus sea. You see some like pieces of clothing and like flags that are indicative of that area. You see snapographs of sailors from anywhere from 10 to 60 years ago, all around. And there's an old sort of graying Mothrin bartender who is serving. There's a couple patrons in the bar, but mostly it's quiet. And there's a phonograph playing some idle music.
That is all happening in the moments before we get in, and then Whistlin busts in. Howdy, everybody!
The bartender just goes, Jesus Christ. Welcome to Halcyon Days. What do you have?
We're gonna have one of everything. Just line them up right here.
Hey, pal. Hey.
What's
I'm
up?
gonna need you to take it like 50% down.
What happened to this place? Come on, let's have some fun.
He just starts walking away down the bar.
I just want to get a vibe check in here. Like,
Vibes are bad.
vibes are bad.
Vibes are bad.
No roll necessary. Vibes.
So, you ever been in a dive bar on a weekday afternoon?
Oh,
Okay.
ugh.
Here's my question. There is, off in the corner, there's like a small stage that is very familiar to Whistling because he's performed on
Yeah,
many,
it's
many
dusty.
times before. It's dusty, and that's just how he likes it. I want to try to loosen up the crowd and hopefully find out like kind of what's going on. Is this
Great.
a crowd that feels like it would be loosened up by a bit of joviality? Or like, would it be better to kind of sink into the melancholy that already exists?
I think I can help with this because there's a role I want to do before the mood changes.
Okay. What? Let me hear it.
I've been to enough end of the world ports where people are commiserating about, the world may end, or the war's gone on too long, or other sad things. Does this look like people who have suffered far too much and are just about ready to give up, or does this look like a temporary setback?
I think you don't get a full give up vibe. I think it's like it seems more like a temporary setback, like things are bad, but we maybe think they can improve.
Okay. Patting my hand on Whistlin's shoulder. Start slow and ramp your way up.
Just gonna kind of give him a quick pat on his hand. I don't fully know what you said.
Okay. you go do, and then you do, and then you're up. Like that.
Gotcha. Play for the encore.
Yeah. What does that mean?
Whistlin, how are you gonna turn the vibe around?
I'm gonna go up on the stage and just start tuning this kind of like stringed instrument, an ajna, which is an instrument that from the corporeal side is plucked like a guitar, but from somewhere beyond the veil, from the spectral side, it is bowed at the same time when played well enough. So it is a single instrument that is a duet.
Cool.
That's beautiful.
It's very cool.
Ooh, why don't you give me a roll for this performance of yours? And because you have something that makes performing better, right?
I do. I'm going to use Grace and Flourish, which is already 4 dice.
Wow.
Izora wants to come over as you're tuning up and be like, Maraca, yes, no, help.
Can I get an advantage for nixing the maraca?
Honestly, yeah.
I just look at Izora and I'm like very clear. I'm like, the maraca is a closer. We're gonna get there, but it's a closer.
I will wait for my cue in the shadows.
Just taps the side of his nose, goes, good. But maybe sit right in front of me.
What?
How do you do that? And then I do have a thing, tuning fork. Once per scene, increase impact when engaged in a performance of some kind.
Okay, so if you succeed, you will have a bigger effect than somebody else would.
Yeah, so I'm rolling 5.
Oh, man.
Oh, 6. 5, 5, 5, 1.
Whoa.
Triumph with a twist.
Yes.
I'm going to say this fully turns the mood around, but before we describe the effect, what song are you singing for these folks?
Let me recount a tale of yore, a tale of the Emerald Sea.
A tale of a sailor more foolish than wise. Fools find their tragedy. From birth it was wrote a legend of lore, her life all tangled in fate. She was a sailor more destined than taught, heedless of its weight. She thought not for charts and she thought not for maps, her compass it always stayed true. She was a sailor more poised than prepared, when her sword she drew. Leviathan's bite is larger than life, a darkness ne'er believed. She was a sailor more brazen than right, from darkness under eaves. Her compass led straight to the heart of the beast, needled her heart to go on. She was a sailor more endless than true, she and the beast now one. So if you catch wind on the emerald sea of a beast beyond the leaves, go be a sailor both foolish and wise, and you too can break free. You too can break free. You too can break free.
Woo! Oh, I love that one.
Midnight Muscadines is a cozy, dark tabletop role-playing game where light and shadow intertwine in a fractured world. Players take on the roles of marmoteers, brave adventurers who journey into the untamed wildernite to collect the elusive Midnight Muscadines, craft magical jams, and protect the fragile light of Nim. Through collaborative storytelling and resourceful gameplay, players weave tales of courage, community, and the pursuit of balance. Will you preserve the light, uncover the truths hidden in the shadows, or reshape the balance of the world forever? Midnight Muscadines is perfect for fans of Studio Ghibli and Sea of Stars who seek to capture the magic of exploration and the heartfelt adventure in a world where small heroes make a big impact. Play Midnight Muscadines as a traditional GM'd game, GM-less, or even solo. Midnight Muscadines is crowdfunding now on BackerKit. Join the campaign at pandiongames.com/muscadines.
I'm Quinns of tabletop role-playing game review show Quinn's Quest, and this is Play to Find Out. Play to Find Out is an actual play podcast that brings notorious old games from the 80s and 90s back to the table. Each season of Play to Find Out, I'm joined by Emily Johnson and Rob Morgan.
Good? Nervous?
Yeah.
You both looked at each other really concerned, like you think what's about to happen is going to be unpleasant. And frankly, I think that's rude.
And together, we explore the TTRPGs of ages gone by. Our goal? To separate the TTRPGs that deserve to be remembered from those that maybe don't. I don't know, Emily. It was the 80s. A lot of people were on cocaine. We blow the dust from decrepit systems to learn how they work. Your 100 on the encounter table bursts out. Right, you've encountered a fog. Get ready. Don't laugh.
There's one get ready for a fog.
Don't laugh. Encounter their unique quirks.
I do finger guns to cover up how I wince.
A weird thing happens as you do finger guns.
Oh no.
And I'm hoping that the Quinn's Quest community will join us in exploring these games too. If you this up, cannot describe to you how much your adventure ends here.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because the best way to learn is to play to find out. Play to Find Out is available now on the Quinn's Quest Patreon, but the first episode of each series streams for free on the Quinn's Quest YouTube channel and wherever you get your podcasts. Anyway, you failed the Earth Tech roll, and you made jokes while I was doing my exposition, so you don't get to hear any more.
Oh, no. Come on.
I was shook as...
Ezra, you have ghost sight, right?
Yep.
You see that as Whistlin is really finding the rhythm and finding the flow of this performance, that you start to hear this instrument be bowed in addition to plucked. And you see a slightly different looking Mothrin from beyond the veil, similar to Whistlin, similar wing patterns bowing along from beyond the veil to the plucking.
Does everyone else see that?
Just you.
Ezra, you just see the spectral Mothrin just looks at you and gives you a big wink.
I think Cherry and Izora are like fully swaying, like really feeling the vibe.
Ezra takes whatever's in front of him, whatever it is, and just drinks the whole thing at once.
Very good.
You just see the bartender go, no.
The bartender has a smile on his face, like that you can see. Like, he's not going to be like a big jovial man, but you can see that he has a smile on his face. The mood of the patrons, they've sat a little bit more upright. They've, started making eye contact with who they're with. Everybody's feeling a little bit better. Now, there also was a twist in there.
That's right.
I got a pitch.
Oh, hit it.
The bartender recognizes this song quite like deeply and intimately, and it completely changes their mood, and they're quite excited to talk to us now.
Yes,
very good.
A good one, finally. Good for us.
We ate our vegetables.
Twists can always be good. Like, you can always have them be good.
Although I think having Russian nesting phases was a pretty good twist.
You know what? That was, yeah. No, you're right. That's on me. I forgot about the Russian nesting
pretty
phases.
beneficial. It's going to come back to help us later.
It's an allegory for something. We just got to find it.
Yeah.
You finish the song, and Izora is standing there with the maraca, vase maraca, like, where's the signal?
I just give like a quick nod to Izora.
And I just do a little shake of like, just sort of a rattle at the end of like, ta-da.
You see everyone was ready to apply, then they go,
What is the name of that song, Whistlin?
Darkness Under Eaves.
The bartender says, Darkness Under Eaves. Let me give you a free drink. Come over here. Let me give you a free drink.
I'll never say no to a free drink.
For all of us?
Yeah. I don't have tea. I'm gonna let me go make these in the back real quick.
It's like going to the bar and ordering coffee. It's like, I mean, we have it.
Then what's the problem?
He goes back and he comes back with 5 little glasses of whiskey, and he hands one deliberately first to Whistlin. You can tell that that's really nice whiskey, and he gave the rest of you just like whatever he had.
Whistlin gives him a little nod. It's like, yes.
Cherry, do you have anything to add to make this maybe more flavorful?
Oh, always. And Cherry pulls out a little, a mortar and pestled bag of herbs. There's like some lemongrass, some I think maybe like some crushed vanilla bean in there.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think that would go good with whiskey. So I just
why not?
kind of, right? I just put a little bit in my cup, and then I looked to Izora and I was like, and I'm just say, but I feel like you might have something to put in this that might make it a bit more enjoyable.
It is different type of enjoyment, but I am willing to
swapperoo?
share. Swapperoo. Eh? Anyone else? And she gestures to Dr. Ezra and Bats as well.
Ez pulls out a gigantic thermos from underneath his greatcoat. I got coffee.
I'm going to say that coffee doesn't exist anymore.
I actually have.
No, I know. No. I'm saying for the rest of you. Ezra has a thermos of coffee. I'm gonna say in the Wildsea.
So we
there are
don't know what it is.
You have no. Wait, he says coffee, and you're like, what?
What is that?
Azora's gonna try every language that she knows, asking, like trying to just repeat it in kind of every tongue that she knows. So she's like, coffee, coffee, coffee. Coffee. Coffee.
I'm just gonna have Abby do this for the rest of the game.
Just under the rest of the conversation. Coffee.
Apparently, it doesn't exist anymore. But it's a ground. I've actually got some. I suppose we could plant it. It's a ground bean that you put into water,
Like
and
tea.
Yes, but no, it's much better.
What do you mean?
Well, this is a cold brew, so what I did is I just filled up a whole
Not a cold brew.
We don't have hot water on the ship. It has to be a cold brew.
We use the power of the sun. Can I have a little bit of that? Just a tiny bit.
All right, but this is strong. Now, it should be smooth, right? It should round over the tongue, and it should keep you awake for a long night. And I pour like a capful of the strong coffee. It is labeled strong coffee. Thank you, Felix. And give it to Cherry.
Okay. Cherry dips a petal into it and absorbs it. So I think like one of the pink flowers, just like you can see the brown liquid like shoot through the veins. And Cherry's just like, whoa!
That branch that absorbed it is like vibrating.
This is amazing. Oh my gosh, do you have any more of this? Can we find more of this?
I forgot you were a tree.
How?
I like that that's
sad.
Ezra looking at Cherry saying, I forgot you were a tree.
I feel like I bring it up a lot.
It's just, this place doesn't make any sense. Look, when I was young, and when we could still, like, wander around in gardens and stuff, like, me and my friends used to play pirates, and now it's all real, and there's talking trees, and that one, no offense, is made out of, like, small bats.
This entire time, Bat has just kind of been sitting there, like, looking into it. Just kind of, like, just, I think dissociating a little bit.
Oh, no. Just like the bats that all make up your eyes are just, like, slowly separating a little bit. Like
The eyes are separating into multiple eyes breaking off along the face.
That's quietly horrifying.
That's Bat's MO, I think.
One of you's a gigantic insect, and you, forgive me, Izora, you look like me if I was made out of slime.
Oh, you think we look alike?
I do recognize some of the bones inside your slime, so I'm going to say yes.
Oh, yes.
They're not in the places you would hope they'd be.
I like that it's hope they'd be. It's so much worse than expects they'd be.
Don't worry, Firefly, I'm a doctor. They never are.
Yeah. So the bartender, Hal, says, what's your name, son? To Whistlin.
Whistlin.
Oh, you related to a Widlin?
Yeah, kind of.
Ah, yeah, Widlin used to come by this port sometimes.
Yeah. I've lived many lives, if you know what I mean.
Oh, don't I?
Yeah. Hey, what's up here? It's the vibe has harshened in this entire port.
You guys are sailors. You know whispers and their effects on the world.
I've never seen them outlawed in a port. I mean, don't get me wrong, I get it. Used wrong, they can be pretty powerful things, but people are usually pretty responsible.
There was an incident with some Wildsailors, a month or so ago, where I think one of them wanted to, I think it was all in good fun. It was in revelry, and so they stepped off the port and they said how did they put it? A flood of food and drink. And then that became reality, and...
I'm sorry, hold on. Not to interrupt your conversation. Did I hear that right? Was a flood like a overwhelming amount of.
He
like, a
was just
flood.
talking shit. He had this whisper on him, and he stepped on the port and he said, "Let's find ourselves a flood of food and drink." And he said it, but it came out of his mouth like a shout, and then there was a true flood.
Oh no.
I think at the sound of this, all of the eyes coalesce back into a proper eye. Eyes? I almost said a singular. No, eye. Nope, I said what I meant. Coalesce into a singular eye on Bat's face as they're like kind of shaken into like a, oh, wait, I'm back in this present moment. That is what happened to me.
That, wait, yes, that. How, why?
I don't know. But, there were a handful of deaths and many injuries. And so the Karada met and decided that until it seems that whispers are more in order, we best ban them. And, the flood made a lot of the vendors a little wary about serving Wildsailors. And when there are less vendors, there are less Wildsailors. And in the course of a month, it's just become, what you see.
What do you mean by when whispers are more in order? Is there something that you're doing or hoping for, or?
I'm not learned in the weird and the wild. I'm just a bartender, but my understanding is that there have been periods of time where the Wildsea is harsher, and there are periods where it's kinder, and I think that the Karada is hoping that we'll head out of this harsh period and into a kinder one, and that maybe whispers will be used again. I understand they are occasionally running some tests to as harmless ones as they can.
First off, don't ever sell yourself short about being just a bartender. That is the most noble profession that a man can take, okay? So
I like you, kid. And he pulls out the nice bottle and fills your glass up.
Goddamn right. Second, you seen anyone with any kind of like weird nosebleeds lately? I saw a guy when we were coming in. Had
Nosebleeds?
Yeah, like a weird black kind of Icarus thing coming out of people. It was something we saw out on the sea, and I thought it was just on the sea.
You ask that question, Whistlin, and you hear someone start coughing over by the door of the bar, like a hack, like a... And you turn and you see that there's this like older Gao gentleman who is like kind of on the like a big round fellow, and he hacks and he spits into a bucket, and you see that spit is dark black.
I just turned to the bartender. Yeah, exactly like that. I mean, what?
Bartender says, I haven't seen anything like that.
Have you seen someone wearing a particularly attractive hat?
I see lots of attractive hats in this business, ma'am.
Oh, that is... I should have been more specific. You are so right. I have actually a different question. If we wanted to get ship repaired, where would you recommend?
You should talk to Delarin.
Delarin.
He's the local mechanic.
Does he have experience with making... What is the actual in-game term for submarine?
They call them submersibles. But I like Delver. Like, we can stick with Delver. This is our Wildsea.
Yeah.
Does he have experience with delvers?
I suppose you can ask. I think he might. I know that delving's becoming more popular over time. It still freaks me to high heaven, but, that's a phrase that I know the context of.
Some idioms, they just continue traveling regardless of...
Yeah.
Especially when they're an old hand.
Yeah.
Hey, one last thing. When you saw Whistlin last, where was he off to?
Oh, he was talking about he was hitched up with a group of Leviathan hunters. They were talking about some big hunt, big get.
You seen any other of those hunters around recently?
Why don't you roll for me for this? Maybe. Why don't you take 3 dice and just we'll see if this guy is good with faces based on these 3 dice.
Oh, cool.
I love it.
I'm trying to think if there's any way I could find to help him. Probably not. Dab.
Brian, you get 1 more dab today. That's it.
Dab. 6, 6, 5.
Wow.
Double 6s.
Ooh, so we get a twist.
He says, "I never forget a face." And he like closes his eyes, and you see him sort of like think, like flutter through thousands of faces that he's seen in his time as a bartender. And he points at Kelly, who's down at the end, just kind of nursing a double of whiskey. Says, "She was with Whistlin. And there was a couple more Ardents." Kind of looks at Bats and squints a little bit. then decides against it. It's not obvious enough for him to make the connection. He says, "You know, it's funny you mention a hat, man, because there was a character that hung around with Whistlin that had a hat, and they blew through here yesterday."
Yesterday?
Yeah, they were with Chelicray, lizard-looking fella.
Now I look at Bats.
Yes, I think all of us just simultaneously sort of slowly turn. Lizard, you say?
Huh? What? What is it?
Do you want to try some coffee? Yeah, take a cup of coffee. Did they seem damaged at all? Did they see... totally ignoring Bats as soon as I offered the coffee. Did they seem damaged at all? Did they seem, you know, like they'd been through a fight of some kind?
One of them looked really pale and like corpse-like. The hat haver. The old hat haver.
The old hat haver.
Ah, the hat haver.
And there was no, like, bullet wound in the hat.
Oh... And he closes his eyes because we've established this man has photographic memory. And he goes, "Yeah, there was actually, and there was a bandage on their neck. There's also a twist here that we haven't decided."
I think that there's a piece of salvage that Whistlin left behind for the next time he came in because he didn't trust the crew members, and now Whistlin's gonna get it.
That's a
I just filled me with so much juice, folks.
It's a juicy twist.
I think there's a fun bit of lore that I kind of want to add in about Mothrin, in that they repupate, they kind of like become new people, and it is, I think it is obvious to this bartender that Whistlin is Whistlin.
Oh yeah,
but it is like accepted practice within Mothrin society to like a previous pupation is a different person and are regarded that way. So like you refer to your previous pupations as like
as
he
relatives
rather than I type thing.
Yeah,
got it.
I love that.
I like that. Yeah.
Whistlin, what did Whistlin leave behind for you?
It is a glass circle that has a number of etchings in it, and the glass circle fits into the ringed charting device that Dr. Ezra found.
You absolute maniac.
A decoder?
It is essentially a like slide-in decoder that this will reveal a chart when combined in 2 pieces.
Fuck yeah. Is it made of amber?
Oh yeah, made of amber for sure.
Come on.
One of you add a chart to your resources related to that.
I already have a chart called Copper Color Chart. I think this just unlocks it.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Whistlin,
that.
why don't you add a chart and then you guys have like 2 sides of this chart?
Nice.
And add it as amber glass or amber disc. I love that. Whistlin, you stash this amber circle, and when you hold it, there's that faint touch of memory of a different you, a different Mothrin in this bar, singing his songs and handing it off to Hal and saying you'd be back for it someday.
I think the customary like salutation or goodbye between Mothrin is it's like a firm hand, like, you know, a gladiator handshake, like full forearms, and then it's in this life or the next.
In this life or the next. As you guys go to sort of maybe depart the bar, or you're going to hang for a bit more, but you're sort of done your chatting, the man who was hacking in the front sort of gets up, and you don't notice him at first, and he walks up to the bar behind you, and he puts a hand on your shoulder, Whistlin, and he just looks you in the eyes, and he says, "Put it back."
Sorry, friend?
Put it back. Put it back.
Put what back?
Put it back. Put it back. Put it back. And his nose is just dripping black ichor.
I'm just tapping the bartender like this. This is what I'm talking about.
You look back at Hal, and you see that Hal's own nose has started to drip, and he looks at you and says, "Put it back."
What?
Put it back.
No.
Oh, shit. Put it back.
Is the guy who's hacking looking aggressive?
No, he's just kind of in a daze, like he's not fighting.
I think we should go. We should leave. We should go now. We should probably leave this place.
But we were going to repair ship.
Sagave and Jorva from their seat stand up and look at you guys as you're departing the bar, and they're all now going, "Put it back. Put it back. Put it back. Put it back.
Bat
Put it back."
tugs on Dr. Ezra's like sleeve and like kind of as much as Bat can whisper,
I might have done something very, very wrong, and I really think that we should go.
We can talk about it when we're outside. Just give me 1 second. And as like I extend my jacket a little bit, a little squirrel with a scrap of ichor stained fabric just jumps inside, and I put the jacket back over. We can go now.
You guys leave the bar in a hurry. None of them pursue you. They just turn their heads as you leave, all in a sort of not in unison, but all like at the same time. Put it back. Put it back. Put it back. Put it back. You close the door to the bar. You see as you leave the bar a trail of ichor slide under the bar door.
So,
We're gonna learn what you were doing when you were screaming.
So that's the thing. I wasn't trying to scream earlier.
Were you trying to sing?
I was trying to whisper.
Oh, Beth.
You didn't see the sign?
Sign?
Never mind.
Wait, there's signs? I thought those were just scribbles.
What's a sign?
No, it says we cannot use whispers here. There is something
I think
wrong.
that would probably be obvious, considering, you know, you don't just walk into a place and use it. You walked into the place and used a whisper, right? Okay.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I was just confused.
It's okay, Bax. It's okay. You're fine. You didn't do anything. I mean, you did.
What happened?
No one died.
That we know of.
Yet.
God.
I was trying to learn more about this place and my memory. I remember being here before, I think, and I was trying to learn, and when I tried to whisper, it came out more as a shout.
Oh, Beth, it is so good that you are trying to get in touch with your mind.
I was trying, and then I did, and I think I might have done something terrible to something, someplace, someone.
It is fine, Beth.
Ezra reaches out and pulls us the same scrap of fabric stained with ichor. So this would match what was in that heart, right? What was in all of us until about, 20 minutes ago?
You mean what is on the ground over there?
That probably leads to the ship.
It has slunk under the bar door. You can't see it outside.
Oh, it's
anymore.
not like a running river. It was like a piece.
Unless you kind of look for it, you probably wouldn't see another stream of it.
Got
just
it. Okay.
At this moment.
So that never mind.
So that probably came from the ship then. This all came from I take the fabric and I just drop it on the floor.
Well, we don't want to litter. Fabric scraps are still there. Even if it has stain, you can do embroidery. You can improve them.
It's filled with heart ichor. I'd rather not touch it.
Whistlin just picks it up and puts it back in Doctor's pocket. Oh, you're raised in a barn? Come on.
It is okay. I will hold it for you, Ezra. And she's going to take it back out of your pocket and put it in her own pocket.
Why do you seem so comfortable around my coat? I don't understand. It's my coat, not
It's a very
your
nice coat.
You just hear from behind you a tape measure go.
Yes, I think both Whistlin and Izora, their hands sort of linger on the coat a little too long, like feeling the material, both being like, oh, yes.
We're having a lot of fun here, but are there other people in town who are also whispering "give it back" or "put it back"?
Yeah, do we see anyone on the street?
When you come outside, it's still the dying down activity. Nothing strange as soon as you come outside. And in fact, you guys chat for a few seconds after leaving, and Sagave comes outside and sort of well, Sagave doesn't have a nose, they're an ectus, but but she's like, oh, you guys heading off to sort of take care of your affairs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you, this is going to sound, there's no good way to say this. Do you feel weird right now?
Yeah, well, every time I drink around midday, I feel a little weird, but...
Do you want us to give something back by any chance? Are you very, into hearts right now?
Yeah, do you have any kind of, compulsions or desires that don't feel of yourself?
Did you just ask me if I'm into hearts?
Yeah, like the playing card.
We said it was going to be a weird question. Just kind of roll with us on this
you're
one.
right, you're right. That's my bad. No, Anyway, I've got a lot of stuff to take care of. I'm going to go, check on some stuff. You guys take care of what you got to take care of. Stay as long as you need to. And I'll see you off before you depart.
Sagave, remind me the name of the boat repair person.
Dolarin. Yeah.
Dolarin.
Just about 2 clicks that way in town. I don't know how big a click is.
We should probably, if we're gonna get our boat fixed, let's get it patched up and see if we can.
Before we do that, can I study Sagave to see if there are any lingering signs of ichor infection?
Sure.
Yeah, because this is creeping me out, bros.
Why? What's creepy about it?
Elliot, the fact that you have to ask that means that you know.
But what do you mean?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I'll use sharps, study. Do I get any bonuses for this?
Nope.
I gave that scrap
Unless you
of
can
fabric
pitch
away.
me. Yeah.
You've seen it before, and you've seen the supposed source in the heart. Maybe that helps.
You've also spit a lot of it out.
Yeah, I can say I have intimate knowledge of this.
Yeah, sure.
I would say that's pretty fair.
You have 1 die.
Okay. I'll add
wow,
die to this.
they can have 2 extra dice, Elliot. That's so nice of you.
Interesting.
I'll add another die to this.
Really interesting, actually.
Nope. Nope.
What would it take to get 2 advantages? We need to find out. Felix, call us.
You can have 2 advantages if you want to take cut.
Oh.
It's not worth it. It's not worth
No,
it. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Okay, that's not good.
Oh, no.
So the highest is a 4, and I got double 1. So that's a conflict with a twist.
You can say that there is ichor infection. That's the success. The drawback is that you can't say it's exactly the same as what you guys experienced.
Hmm.
And then twitches.
Twitches. I love that movie.
Great classic.
Classic.
A person walks by with Delarin embroidered on their shirt.
Whoa, what a twist!
Here's my pitch, although it may be too powerful. I think looking at the rest of us, I can tell that if the infection is expelled, there's no way for it to come back. And now we have Ichor immunity.
That's a pretty good twist.
That's a pretty good
twist. That's a pretty good twist.
I don't hate it. I'm actually on board.
Nice.
I'm going to say with your studying of them, you're trying to focus on them, but you're also thinking through your own experience and thinking through how awful it felt to retch all of this ichor out. And you think that some way that you and Bats channeled your whispers in that moment means that ichor won't crawl back inside you.
Could I also pitch that, like, Dr. Ezra, you see the ichor, like some of the ichor kind of crawl out from the bar, and it goes near our feet, but then like gets close and is almost repelled, or like kind of like rears up and sniffs,
like hydrophobic kind of thing.
Yeah, like very hydrophobic. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say you guys have a lot of stuff to take care of. I think we should move into a quick montage at port where you guys can sort of split up and take care of some of these things. So a reminder about montages is that we will go to each person for one task, which will be represented by one role.
Mhm.
These tasks might be scavenging, they might be hunting and gathering. That's all acquisition. You might do recovery either for yourself to heal an aspect that's healing. You might do repair to help use salvage to clear marks on gear or mechanical items, or you might relax to heal a mire. You could also create something. You might concoct, you might cook, or you might craft. And then I would also say with this montage that if you're wanting to do stuff with the ship, or maybe we can do the ship as a scene after with the mechanic, either way, I am open to either. If somebody wants to spend their task to like go start getting things rolling on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say this is like the rest of this day.
Okay.
I know what Cherry would like to do, which doesn't help anybody but Cherry.
Excellent.
Classic.
I don't think Cherry has a lot of things to trade with, but she does have her skills, especially with like reading tea leaves and tea remains and such. And I'd like to do that to try to acquire a new specimen.
Okay.
I'm not going to fully read remains, like use one of my aspects because I have to use a specimen to do that. But I want to kind of fake it a little bit so that I can get some specimens and just some like general herbs and such from the place before we leave.
Great. So you need to make an acquisitions roll. So tell me like kind of what skill, where are you going to do this? Like what are you doing? What's the skills involved?
I'm just going to go and see if there's like a vendor who's got some interesting like natural looking organic things that I could use to blend into my tea. So if someone's got like a bunch of stuff laid out on an outdoor vending spot, I'm going to go and I'm going to take a cup of tea and I'm going to drink it and I'm going to be like, oh, today is looking quite fortuitous to me, and perhaps it could for you. And I would be happy to read your tea leaves, and I would like some of your lemongrass.
So you're going to try and bargain a reading for some resources, essentially. Okay, great. So tell me the skill. Build your pool to do this reading to kind of pitch to get somebody.
Edges. My edge would be instinct, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Can I pitch cook or sway?
I could see either of those.
Okay. I'm better with cook, so I feel like I'm like I'm cooking this cup of tea to have the right remains in it that it will look like it has an image there that I could read for someone.
Great.
Cool. Which is 3 dice in total.
3 dice.
2 5s and a 4.
Ooh.
2 5s and a 4. Hell yeah. So that is success with a drawback.
And what I want here is the specimen. So if I get boned on that, that's fine.
I think you get a specimen, but I think it is rotten. It's going to have the rotten tag. you approach this booth of herbs and such, and you see that there is a like vine-based sort of ectus person behind them selling various herbs and ingredients, and I'm going to say they're kind of keened into what you're doing. And so when you come up offering a reading, they're like, yeah, okay. And you do it. And then they hand you a little baggie. They're like, this is the best I can do for not, monetary.
Can I offer, because there was a twist in that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The bag that they hand over, it is rotten, but that particular type of herb, that is actually preferred.
Oh,
yeah.
Like they thought it was worthless, and it actually is like saffron.
Oh.
I'm fine with that.
Oh, this is perfect. Thank you so much. And I'm sensing a very pleasant day for you.
Uh-huh. Thanks. Have a day.
Oh.
A day.
Who's next?
I'd like to kind of create a chart with the things that or I guess the chart that we have with our two pieces, is that already enough to kind of lead us to a place?
Yeah, I think that the idea is that when you set back out on your journey, that can lead you somewhere.
That can act as a chart. Okay. In that case, I'd love to try to build something, craft something to... I'd love to use one of the Russian nesting urns to
For
try
what?
Izora, I'm trying to make a pot that will hold and call back the ichor that we've sent to this town.
Oh, you want to gather it back up.
Yeah, I'm seeing if I can't use like music or find some kind of almost like summoning frequency that'll bring it all back.
Yes, like percussion.
No, not like
No.
I see the maracas. This isn't a maraca job.
No maraca.
No maraca. That.
No.
That's it.
Eh?
That's it. No.
Eh?
No. This is a frequency thing.
Okay, well, you can borrow largest of nesting this.
If I roll a twist in this, the twist absolutely has to be that maracas are in fact the way to go.
So you're crafting. So you have a jar. What else are you putting into this? So like crafting, you need 2 salvage.
I don't have any salvage.
I can offer you spare driftwood.
I have a spare salvage that I could give you too.
What do you got?
And bones.
I got a porous stone.
That might be better.
Ooh, I'll do a porous stone. Well, I'm trying to like combine the urn and like almost create kind of a speaker out of this urn. So I'm kind of like hollowing out the back a little bit, throwing in the porous stone as if to make like an amplifier.
Interesting.
And then I'm trying to find a frequency at which the ichor will somehow respond to.
Cool.
Very interesting.
Very cool.
Okay. Tell me how you're putting this all together.
Okay, so I'm putting those together. I think the pool will be sharps. How would you feel about flourish? Because I'm trying to find... flourish is to do with performing, showmanship, rhythm, and performance.
This is pretty involved craftsmanship.
I'm trying to... Well, think about it here. I'm trying to enchant, impress, or dazzle those around you, worming your way into the hearts with words or deeds. Or maybe study a skill of meticulous recording.
I would prefer study.
Great, I still got 3 in that.
I feel better about study.
Would you consider this?
Brian?
Would you consider this a performance of some kind? Because I am trying to call back the ichor.
No. You're not calling it back yet. You're building the thing to call it back yet. Calling it back will be a different role, I have to tell you.
That feels fair.
Can I offer an advantage using my companion?
Ooh, because he's got tiny little hands.
Yeah, so I think as you reach out to grab the big vase and you realize that there's a small squirrel already nesting inside of it, treating it like it's a little bed.
Ahab is sleeping in the little vase?
Yeah, but he gets what you're doing, and he's used to handling ichor. He just did with Ezra, so he's just like he's like, okay, he gets like a bunch of little fabric scraps, and he goes around. He's gonna run around trying to collect ichor and bring it back to you.
Ezra, there's actually now you say that, and something occurs to you. Ahab's not affected by the ichor. It never went in Ahab. It never bothered him.
Thank God.
Just a little thing, you know.
That's so nice.
Is it plot armor? Is it something else?
Is it plot armor? Maybe it's Maybelline.
Ahab is just a squirrel. He's just a squirrel with a missing leg. That is it.
That's it. He's just a squirrel. It's fine.
Just a squirrel.
So you're offering Ahab up to help.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not when you say it like that.
We're gonna sacrifice Ahab.
I'm not. I will not kill your pet. Like Ahab can take damage to his track, but like I will not kill your pet ever. Brian, you can have 1 die for Ahab's little hands.
Yeah,
They're just
little
so
hands.
nimble.
Little grabby hands.
Little grabbies.
Little grabbies.
Okay, I'm rolling 5.
Roll for grabbies.
Roll.
Grabbies.
1, 1, 2, 5, 6.
Wow.
So it's a 6, and the unfortunate twist is that maracas are indeed the thing that is needed.
Yeah.
Wait, Brian cannot write the twist for his own
That's
role.
true,
So
Brian.
I would love
that's
other
fair, that's fair,
pitches.
that's fair.
Can I pitch a twist? Maracas are indeed required.
And way more than you think is required. Like a
Yeah.
lot of maraca playing.
Like a lot of maracas. Actually, can I turn the smallest vase into a mini maraca that is Ahab sized?
Is that the twist? Is that the twist you want?
Yeah, I'm gonna take the bones out of the medium vase and put them into the smallest one.
Elliot, is this aspect that we're doing right now the thing that is straining credulity, or is it that there are cactus people?
Or is it the fact that this entire thing is orchestrated by a moth person?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're gonna play the suspend your disbelief game. All right. All right. It's I liked Jay's pitch of it takes more maracas than you think.
Yeah. Yeah.
More maracas than you think.
Like a lot more.
So a triumph on a creation roll says recipient gains temporary benefit related to resources used.
Do you have a thought? Because I have a sort of thought, but
My hope is to use it to collect it. Like my goal was to use it to collect it and like it goes in the vase.
sure.
But it could also be that like the second it goes into the vase, the recording instrument aspect of it doesn't work anymore. So now it's like I kind of have a Pied Piper thing that I can move the ichor around a bit, so I can like guide it back to the ship.
Interesting. Interesting.
But it's not
Okay.
convenient.
I don't
easy.
hate that. I don't hate that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you make this thing. You have it, and you can Pied Piper ichor around once it's full.
Okay.
Nice.
That's
Whistlin. Crafting away.
You just see Whistling testing it, and he's like, "Look at this, guys!" And the ichor's just kind of dancing back and forth as he moves
It's like
around a little
it's
bit.
very flubber.
Very flubber.
Honestly, this entire time I've been thinking about like the symbiote from Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
symbiote
it's very
from Spider-Man.
symbiote, very like oil from Fern Gully. Yeah.
Just evil flubber.
Who's next?
Here's what I'm gonna do. Ezra has this gun that is pretty much non-functional because it's actually a pre-verdant heirloom. I would like to see if I can find any salvage that will make it functional again.
Ooh. So to make a repair roll, you need appropriate salvage to do it. Are you saying you don't have a salvage that would work?
Let me tell you what salvage I have on my sheet right now. And that's all the salvage I have on my sheet.
You are welcome to Izora's spare driftwood.
Driftwood.
I'm going to say that you can go to like there. I'm going to say there is a collector of pre-verdant artifacts around.
Ooh. Very cool.
You got to know where to go. You got to say the right thing at the right doors. But you get down to a little like underground museum style shop run by a Ketra who is very odd. is the best way to describe them. Like
You don't
Azora's
say.
Azora's odd. And then you're like, you meet this person, you're like, I don't want to make assumptions. But no, this is just a very odd person.
Is she like, okay, but how odd? Are we talking about the kind of odd where like she just makes you uncomfortable like Izora, or the kind of odd where she insists that you call her auntie?
The kind of odd where she's just like wants to show you everything in there. Like you like she's moving around and she's just like, look at this. Look at this. Do you want to see this? Do you want to see this? Do you want to buy this?
That's a toilet brush.
That's a what? No, this is a wing danger.
It's a toilet brush.
And over here is a bamboozle.
That's...
What do you have? What do you want?
It's just a
what
grenade.
What do you want?
You have a grenade in the shop? I take out my little heirloom. I need a new barrel and a new firing mechanism for this thing.
Oh, a gun.
What gave it away?
There's really a great commentary there that's the only word that's survived.
Yeah. Wow, really makes you think.
really makes you think.
I look around. Can I ask something of you? In this shop, there's a bunch of things, right? A bunch of different things.
Many
from
things.
all over the pre-verdancy. How many of them have writing in Hyven on it?
Ooh.
Hyven was the pre-verdant written language?
Yeah. Most of
Yeah.
them. And most people don't understand it. And I have a 3.
I'm going to say there is something Hyven in this shop. I'm going to tell you what it is after whatever your role is to get. I'm going to say this role for you is going to be to get her to trade you for this firing pin. I'm going to say that's your like montage role.
Yeah. I will translate anything you have in this shop. Anything Hyven in this shop for you. How much could you sell it if you understood what it meant?
Oh.
Ooh.
Very good. I like that. So you can build your pool. I'd say you're using Hyven for sure.
Mm-hmm.
As your language there. And then your edge. You got to pick an edge.
Okay, I got... Ooh, Tides is exploration, learning, and lore.
Ooh, very good.
I feel like I'm learning today. We're all learning. So, let's bargain for advantage.
My favorite part.
Do I hear one advantage? One advantage? Do I hear two advantages? Two advantages?
I hear 2 advantages, Elliot. Give them to me.
It's dice haggling time.
Would it be an advantage if Izora was in the shop with Ezra and asks a bunch of questions of the Ketra woman?
Yeah, sure. You're odd. She's odd.
Just conversation is the advantage.
You're just like two kooky old ladies just like hanging out. Yeah.
It's just we're both talking. Like I'm showing her the necklaces, she's showing me bamboozles.
Yeah. She's got who's a what's it's galore.
Yeah.
I love a good who's a what's it.
All right, Ezra, rip it.
Rip it good.
Rip it.
Let her rip. Beyblade.
Oh, that's good. That's really good, folks.
Oh, very good.
It's very good.
Oh, it's very good.
So, get this. I got a 6, 2 ones. Triumph with a twist.
Triumph with a twist.
Can the twist be that we find an arrow? No, I'm kidding. I don't want that to be the twist.
I was gonna say if you want,
but I did.
I have a twist pitch.
Pitch that twist.
She has no idea what the grenade is, so she gives it to Ezra
as a bonus goodie.
Yeah,
all right,
because she likes him.
It looks worthless
There's a
to
pin
her.
in this. Maybe this is the pin you need for the gun.
Take the bamboozle.
So she gets you, the necessary gun pieces. For her, you read this chunk of... It's written in Hyven, but I will say it does not seem pre-verdant. It seems like written post-verdancy, given the contents of it.
Looking at this thing, can I tell what it's supposed to be? Is it
so?
It
It looks like, honestly, this is it's interesting to you because it seems like it is post-verdant, but it's old. So it's like maybe recent like maybe soon after the verdancy, and you recognize the object because it looks like a piece of a previous submarine that somebody has used as a writing tablet of sorts.
Whoa.
I sign in old hand a little bit, and I wait to see if this old woman, this shopkeeper, understands it. Does she?
Nope.
Good.
She got a 1.
The thing I sign specifically is to Izora then, and it's simply, I'm not telling you the truth.
Izora speaks Old Hand, so she understands and nods.
For service in English, please type 1. For service in French... Oh, sorry, no. Pour service en français, appuyez sur le 2. I'm sorry, this seems to be like some instructions.
Oh man, I swear it seemed so important. I hung it up in that place of prominence and everything. Yeah.
So, back in the olden days, we had this thing called a payphone.
As you start telling her about a payphone, her nose starts dripping black ichor. Put it back. Put it back. Put it back. Put it back.
Can I straight up knock her out?
Nope, because that's the end of your montage moment.
No!
As one more addition, though, because this is important. One hand is behind my back towards Izora as I say the lie to the shopkeeper. One hand is behind my back, and I write out, in sign, in old hand, like song needs rest and speech needs breath, howl needs void. And should that balance be upset, waves and its denizens won't soon forget.
That is the true translation.
Whoa.
Yes, it is.
Whoa.
Which is why I could not tell this woman
Yeah.
what she had.
Ooh, Azora's excited.
Ezra's concerned, and so am I.
Bats or Izora, I think we are left in our montage.
Oh, I feel like somebody's got to repair the ship.
If you guys don't, I'll say Kelly goes to the mechanic. Like, if you want to use it for something else, like, Kelly can go to the mechanic.
Can I actually can Izora, a little bit in conjunction with Kelly, Izora wants to basically work her way in with the crew that's repairing the ship to try to learn as much as possible about the Wildsailors with the hat and the lizard.
You want to go where to learn that? Sorry.
I was going to try to basically do 2 birds with 1 stone of like hire a crew or something to repair at least the mast. And then as they're repairing, want to kind of worm my way in so they feel comfortable gossiping and giving me knowledge about the town and specifically these 2 visitors. But I'm happy to instead do it as Izora mingling with whatever vendors are around or townspeople. She's basically just wants to interact with the people of this port. She wants to learn as much as she can about the lizard Chelacrae and the wild sailor with the attractive hat.
Okay, so you're kind of doing like it's like going to be like a learning, like hunting, gathering for information kind of role.
Yeah, and specifically want to use veils and sway such that after they've shared a lot of this information with me, as like close and comfortable as they felt with me doing this, they kind of immediately forget that they've interacted with me.
Can I offer an advantage, considering Izora and I are already hanging out?
Already hanging.
I think that instead of remembering specifically Izora asking pointed questions, they remember Dr. Ezra like offering simple solutions for minor ailments that they might have, or because a lot of them seem to have painful noses these days. Look, tinctures and like suggestions for where you could put in a tincture or salve to help that out. That's a little advantage.
Yeah, there's a runny nose problem going through town.
Yeah, so the more important thing they take away from this interaction is the medical advice they've received. Whereas there's already a weird Ketra woman in town. How much of an impression can I make, really?
Truly.
Okay, yeah. Build this pool for me.
So I get 1 for Veils, 2 for Sway. I'm getting 1 from Dr. Ezra. I think that's all I can do. Ooh, no twist this time, but it is a success. I got 1, 4, 5, 6.
Yes.
Very good. Do you bounce around town with Ezra and you're chatting and you move through different, there's not a lot of open businesses, as I said, but you're able to sort of move in and out of different places. And I'll say that when you go to talk to sort of the mechanic, and I'll say Kelly's interfacing with the mechanic to coordinate the ship repairs, but you have a chat with someone named Akara, who is an Ironbound. And I'm going to say that Akara kind of remembers you from past visits, Izora, so sort of greets you with kindness and everything. Akara tells you that the 2 figures you're looking for were getting repairs to the mast of their ship the day before, and that they gave him a really bad vibe.
I work exclusively with vibes, so I understand the importance of this.
And that he overheard them talking about trying to see the Karada themselves. That was kind of what he heard about them.
Do I have a sense of how? Well, I have 2 sorts of questions, and you could give me answers or not, I guess. How big a group the Karada is, and then also how untouchable, like how hard would it be to get an audience with the Karada?
I think that the Karada is like a council sort of vibe, maybe of 10 or 12, and it is difficult to get a meeting with them.
And do I have a sense of if they were successful in getting an audience with Karada?
Yes, you think that they were, or Akara thinks that they were.
Akara thinks they were. This is very helpful information.
Hey, for an old friend, no problem.
Oh.
Now let me see those tinctures you were talking about, God Doctor.
Oh, so it's quite simple. All you got to do is take some rubbing alcohol and some cherry sap, and then rub it anywhere you can.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Hey. Easy.
And last but certainly not least, Bats. What are you up to in this day of montaging?
So Bats is feeling kind of bad. They already did try to go out and learn stuff about themselves, and it immediately made everything worse. So I kind of think they're maybe just sulking. On the ship. Just kind of like for like any like whenever like crew comes on to like help start like fixing up the ship, might just kind of be there and be like,
Do you need any help? If you need anything else, I can get up, I can climb.
So I think is just gonna maybe try to assist whoever is working on our ship, if anyone is working on the ship.
Okay, why don't you give me a roll, and I'll say, because you guys are going to get a certain number of stakes to spend on submersible stuff, and depending on the result of your roll, we'll add some stakes.
Okay. Cool.
May I offer an advantage?
Is it being a big tree?
No, that was the advantage.
Got him.
There's gonna come a time where that is an advantage where you're like, we can't deny it.
When I get that one, there's gonna be an egg on your face, my friend.
I want to point out here that this is not just like being an ectus. Cherry has a trait called barrel chested. Cherry is like an actual big tree.
Yeah,
be a big
I know.
But to be fair, that wasn't even the advantage I was going to offer. I've got my little, hey, hear me out. I got my little herbs and stuff. I want to go back and make some tea. Like if someone's working on your lawn and you make them a lemonade.
Yeah, for all the hot, sweaty workers.
I love that.
Yeah.
You can have an advantage for some lemonade.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So then for helping them, I guess, try to fix things up, can I do Can I do grace for trying, like, for being able to, like, oh, you need to get up there? I can just swing up there and it's not a big deal for me to get to, like, high places and such. And then I have rattle, which is the maintenance and mending.
Great.
Stuff.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
And then I get advantage because I only have one rattle. So that advantage is very helpful.
Thirsty?
Thank you. I don't think that is.
Thirsty?
But everybody else, maybe. If anything, it's probably just so that they don't have to look at Bat for a little while longer. Interesting. So that's a 4, a 2, and a 2.
Okay. I'm gonna essentially, I was thinking about this in like a stepwise way. I'm gonna say you get 1 additional stake to spend. And then what are people's pitches for that twist?
That additional stake is broken.
Why would you do that?
Wow. We break it the second it gets installed.
Why would you do that?
Could the twist be that, one of the repairs isn't maybe as good as it could be?
What if we get the steak,
twist can be good?
What if we get the steak, but the thing that we get from the steak is also broken, just like everything else on the ship? So we get the thing; it just needs to be repaired again.
Okay. I'll allow it. I mean,
I'd like to pitch a steak that is not. I'd like to pitch a twist that is not broken.
All right, what's your pitch? Which pitch?
Okay, so you know how we have bats flying around our ship at all times?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Separate from that.
I'm not, yeah, separate from Bat. Can I offer that the twist is because of how much they've been disturbed during this whole ship breaking apart and falling apart, and now maybe going under the eaves sort of situation, that the bats now have a tendency to follow us because they think it's safer around us as individuals than the ship itself.
So you guys have individual little clouds of bats
that sometimes follow us once in a while, especially if we're close to ship, yeah.
A show of hands.
Who wants broken ship equipment?
And who wants bats?
And who wants bats?
And who wants bat friends?
I would love more bat friends.
I saw
take
more
bat
hands
friends.
I saw more hands for bats. Okay, the twist is that the bats have gotten attached to everyone individually. Oh, you guys. Hey, I like you. I like you guys.
I was about to say, the one time Bat tries, like, does something to be helpful, everyone's twist is, well, it's not actually good. It's actually bad.
Bats is trying their hardest.
And instead we had bats with separation anxiety.
See, I love the bats with separation anxiety. I have bats with separation anxiety.
The twist is that Bats has a nice day.
That actually their self-confidence gets restored.
Aww.
At the end of your montage, you all find yourselves, I'm going to say that the day ends, you regroup, and you find yourselves summoned to meet with the Karada.
Ooh.
Do you go?
Of course we must go. This is great honor to be summoned. It is hard to get audience with Karata, so if they have important message, it is important that we go.
Can someone please explain to me what a carotid is? I mean, I know what a carotid is. The other one, the one that you're talking about, that carotid.
Karata.
Oh, I didn't even realize there's that little heart parallel in there. Okay, Abby. Okay.
They are council who run this port city, and they are very powerful.
And this is also one of my favorite ports, so we can't piss them off.
Right.
This is also true.
Are we sure they are calling us because we, I haven't already, maybe, pissed them off?
No.
Bats, I feel like most people didn't realize that you were responsible for that incident, so let's not say anything about it anymore until such time.
There was a child. There was a child that kept pointing at me as I was climbing.
We can make you new sex suit for you to wear, so they won't recognize. You look like whole new bits.
correct me if I'm wrong, but we're just being called in front of city council, basically. No one understands what a city council is.
I don't think that really... That doesn't happen a lot to people who just show up at a port. I just want it to be on the record that I don't feel good about this.
Cherry, it will be okay.
Oh.
Cherry, I trust you.
Do you go?
Listen, I don't feel good about a lot of things that Izora does, but she's still hanging around, so I figure if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. I don't feel good about this either, but...
You can stay on ship if you like, but...
No, if you are going, I'm going.
Cherry, I don't trust any of this either, but if you need a friend to hold on to during it, I'm here.
Fine, thanks, okay. Yeah, let's go.
Do you want more coffee?
Yeah.
Cherry gets addicted to coffee.
Cherry's immediately caffeine addicted.
You walk your way down the spine of the great rib cage above you, deeper and deeper into Odson's Respite. The twinkling lights of the Firefly lamps have illuminated above you, for it is nighttime. And you find yourselves in a council chamber that has been built around the skull of a great Leviathan, with several eye sockets all around that have been painted over with amber glass and wood paneling to block up some of the other holes. Inside is a council of 12, each wearing very differing, ornate masks inspired by various Leviathans. Some of you recognize the legends of some of them. What else is in this room is that you see in the sort of back corner of the skull room, in the shadows, is a pale figure with a hat and a lizard-shaped individual.
What?
Wait, what?
I hide behind Dr. Ezra.
As the Karada begins to speak, you hear a commotion outside. Hundreds of voices. Put it back. 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 And that is all for this episode.
What do you mean?
My First Dungeon presents
The
Wildsea.
Hey, Elliot.
Yeah, but what do you mean?
Join us next week for a meeting with the Karada? Maybe.
No.
I'm coming to New York to slap you.
Aye, everybody.
What do you mean? Aye.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Jerry.
Max, what have you done?
That's no good, very bad, horrible.
I told you it was we had to get out of here. No one listened to me.
Join us next week. Aye, aye.
Aye,
Aye.
Bye.
This season of My First Dungeon is sponsored by Mythworks. Grab your own copy of The Wildsea by going to myth.works and use the promo code MyFirstDungeon to get 20% off your order. My First Dungeon presents The Wildsea features the voice talents of Elliot Davis, Brian Flaherty, Abby Hepworth, Noordin Kadir, Kendrick Smith, and Jay Strautman. This episode was produced by Shenuque Tissera and Elliot Davis. Editing and sound design by Brian Flaherty. Theme song and original music by Behold. Additional music from artlist.io. The tree shanty Darkness Under Eaves was written by Brian Flaherty and Jay Strautman and performed by Brian Flaherty, with instrumentation by Jay Strautman and Behold, featuring the voices of Jay Strautman, Behold, Elliot Davis, and Noordin Kadir. My First Dungeon is a many-sided media production. To hear the cast talk back and more, visit us on our Patreon. And as always, remember,
If you're having fun, you're already doing it right.
If you're hearing this, that means you listened to every last second of this episode. If you're not caught up yet, that's great because then there's plenty more to listen to. But if you are caught up and you simply can't wait for the next episode, then you should head on over to patreon.com/myfirstdungeonpod and become a member of the Dice Pool. For just a few bucks a month, you'll get cast talkbacks, original games, and a full-length bonus actual play each and every month. As of the end of 2023, there is already over 20 hours of bonus audio, plus a whole bunch of other goodies to enjoy. So head on over to patreon.com/myfirstdungeonpod and jump into the Dice Pool. We'll see you there.